Hello, I'm Annie Musu, a certified EFT tapping master practitioner. I help women build confidence, set boundaries, and enjoy healthy relationships. Welcome to my podcast, Hush Your Mind, building a better relationship with yourself. On this show, I offer practical wisdom to help you clear fears, limiting beliefs, and trauma so that you can gracefully create a life you love. Welcome to the first official episode of my podcast, Hush Your Mind, building a better relationship with yourself. Today I'm going to talk about what Hush Your Mind is all about and why you should care. So I go to this organic food store in my neighborhood, and there's a woman who works there named Georgette. Each time I arrive, I nod to her at the cash register and utter a cheerful bonjour per the local customs. I live in France, so this is the normal thing to do. Crickets. Georgette scowls at me. Her stern eyes peer over her maroon plastic frames. A faint bonjour escapes from her pursed lips. Week after week, I give myself a pep talk. Stay calm. It's a good way to practice patience. Whatever you do, don't punch Georgette in the face. I keep saying cheerful bonjours. She keeps scowling. Then one day, I walked into the store and heard a jolly bonjour. It was Georgette, who was smiling shyly at me. I returned the greeting and grinned. The entire situation intrigued me. If small acts of kindness could inspire Georgette, what if we extended kindness to everyone we met? It's no surprise we live in a fear-based society that overvalues profits, productivity, and perfection. What's more, current global issues may leave us feeling hopeless and unsafe. Can we really make a difference? Rallying for positive change plays an important role, but much of the pain we experience comes from things we can't control, like illness, natural disasters, or other hardships. What's more, old emotional wounds damage our self-worth and potential, causing stress in our work, health, and relationships. Our personal histories and family traumas contribute greatly to how we perceive each moment and experience our outer reality. Ultimately, we can only control our reactions to life. Everyone has challenges, yet we don't have to suffer. We can learn how to embrace our emotions instead of getting swept up in them. Despite the chaos in the world, I refuse to believe we're doomed. We can honor fear and choose love instead, in every moment. Instead of adding to the collective shadow, let's transform our pain into compassion. Then when we go out into the world, let's offer that compassion to others. Our presence would elevate loved ones and strangers alike. When I started Hush Your Mind in 2016, I didn't know about emotional freedom techniques, or EFT or tapping. It's an extraordinary stress relief tool proven to quickly and effectively reduce anxiety, depression, PTSD, and so much more. We can use it to fully heal traumas and free ourselves from the past. During my training to become an EFT practitioner, I realized with amazement how a distressing experience from 20 years ago can still impact us today. Unresolved pain and negative feelings deeply affect every aspect of our lives. We might be doing our best, but things still don't move forward. That's because our unconscious fears and limiting beliefs sabotage our success. Now that I've witnessed the power of EFT tapping, I'm convinced that we have everything we need to heal the wounds within so that we can create a better world. I love this quote by the 14th Dalai Lama. Quote, "We can never obtain peace in the outer world until we make peace with ourselves." End quote. So I invite you to embark on this journey with me to make peace with yourself. I truly believe that our greatest gift to ourselves and the world is finding inner peace. Hush Your Mind is for women who want to build self-confidence, set empowering boundaries, and enjoy fulfilling relationships. I work with people of all genders with many different issues, but the common thread tends to deal with self-confidence and people-pleasing. These people have stories similar to mine. They've learned early on to prioritize others before themselves. It's hard to say no. They sacrifice their needs to please others. Conflicts cause anxiety, and it's hard to speak up for themselves. If you're like me, you learn to be caring and nurturing at the expense of yourself. You've been taught that asking for what you want makes you needy or selfish. Yet the most important relationship in our life is the one we have with ourselves. When we build a better relationship with ourselves, we no longer need to seek others' approval. Our sense of self-worth comes from within, which makes it easier to set empowering boundaries, enjoy healthy relationships, and live a fulfilled life. We're often the first in our family to confront the pain that has been carried through generations. And when we release this pain, we liberate ourselves, our ancestors, and descendants from the chains of the past. We can finally embrace who we truly are: love, peace, well-being, and abundance. That part of us exists in us all. Some may call it our intuition, the small inner voice that guides us effortlessly through life. Through EFT tapping, we can access our true nature and let its wisdom lead our lives. This undertaking demands tremendous courage to face our shadows and embrace our vulnerability. This is exactly what we must do to create a better world. If everyone took responsibility for their shadows, our world would be a better place. Here's to us, courageous ones. So let me tell you a bit about myself so you can get an idea of where I'm coming from. I was born and raised in Southern California. A child of Vietnamese immigrants, I struggled to reconcile my two cultures and appease my overcritical father. His harsh criticism and emotional absence crushed me. I learned to stuff down my feelings and follow directions. Avoiding rejection at all costs made life more tolerable, but I practically lost my identity. After graduating from college, I escaped to teach English in France and married my soulmate, Loic. Oh la la! But my husband and I grappled with codependency, my job sucked, and living abroad wasn't easy. As Ernest Hemingway wrote, you can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another. Reality crashed down, repressed emotions boiled up. Violent disputes, depression, and perfectionism brought me to my knees. My husband and I wrestled with what spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle calls the pain body. Our pain body consists of the emotional pain of life experiences that haven't been fully accepted. Our pain body provokes others' pain bodies until we heal our past experiences. Those daily arguments shined a stark light on our emotional baggage. Eventually, I burned out. For the next decade, I devoted myself to restoring my health and soul-searching. Loic and I learned how to overcome our worst fears and love courageously. Slowly but surely, I made peace with myself. Of course, we don't become superhuman beings even after many wake-up calls. We're all on a lifelong journey. But I've built a firm strength and belief in myself. I'm able to make the best of hard times. And the most splendid part? I know who I am, though I'm constantly evolving. No matter what, I can look up to my North Star. That's power. I live the life I desire. Peace. I'm proud to be who I am. Innate joy. Freedom. This quote by Steve Jobs deeply inspires me. Quote, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. End quote. My intention for this podcast and Hush Your Mind in general is to help people to love and accept themselves. Compassion, simplicity, and integrity drive everything that I do. My vocation as an EFT tapping practitioner is my way of contributing to a more peaceful world. We all can learn how to hush our minds so that we may access our true nature, the peace and love that are always present within. Fortunately, the incredible power of EFT tapping accelerates and eases the healing process. And as we do this inner work, we are making a huge difference, more than we'll ever know. So I invite you to join me in future episodes. I'm going to release a short episode every 2 weeks. You'll get simple and practical information gleaned from my personal experiences and research. You can sign up for my newsletter to receive a blog article /podcast episode and updates every other Thursday. If you want some one-to-one personal guidance, check out my EFT tapping services at hushyourmind.com/coaching. If you want to say hello, reach out to me on Instagram. My username is hush.yourmind. I'm always open to suggestions, comments, and questions. I hope this gives you a good idea of what to expect from me in this podcast. Thanks for listening, and talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode of Hush Your Mind. I'm currently offering free EFT tapping sessions in exchange for a short interview. Sign up for your session at hushyourmind.com/interview. You can also find the link in the show notes. May you have the courage to love and accept yourself. Be well and take care.